and fangirls, on today's episode of Technoid, we're going to take a look at the new AirPod Pro 2s. We're going to discuss some new rumors that have come out, and based on the new AirPod 3s, we can now start to have new speculations and new confirmations of things that will be coming in the AirPod Pro 2 future, and some new features that you guys may want to hear about. Also on today's episode, the Beats brand have released a brand new pair of earbuds called the Beats Fit Pro. And I'm here to tell you that everything that Beats said they were going to do and position themselves has completely gone out the window, and it looks like they're going to still be under Apple's umbrella because Beats, what the hell did you do yesterday? And lastly, the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro reviews are officially out everywhere. You can watch any video you want, but lately there have been a lot of pushback, mostly on Twitter, for several big YouTubers, most notably MKBHD, and I'm here to talk to you guys about that and talk about this whole narrative that big tech YouTubers are making commercials, and really give my input on that because there's a lot to be said about that, so I'm going to save that for the end of the video. All of that on today's episode, so stay tuned. So story number one, the main story, the AirPod Pros 2. Now, with the big success of the AirPods 3 and a lot of positive feedback coming from most users that have used the AirPods 3, we can now start to speculate and get some confirmation on what we're gonna see in the new release with the brand new AirPod Pros. Starting with the IPX4 water-resistant MagSafe charging case, that is definitely something we're gonna see. Now, I am currently in the process of reviewing the AirPods 3. That video will be out sometime later in November, and I can tell you guys that that is a really cool, neat feature, not just for the MagSafe, but also the added protection if you're in water or if it's raining, that you don't have to worry about it being damaged. So I'm really glad that Apple had put that in the AirPods 3, so we could definitely expect to see that in the AirPod Pros 2. On top of the new redesign that we were expecting with the AirPod Pros 2, we can also expect some new sensors. One of them being focused on health and fitness, but I don't think Apple has reached that point yet. We're still gonna have to wait and see just how much they can fit into that earbud. But one new sensor that they could talk about is the new skin detect sensor. According to several users and several reports, they're claiming that Apple is working on skin detection as a new type of detection for the earbuds. They will have dual optical sensors in each earbud that can detect if they are in the use of the ear and if they are efficiently performing with optical sensors that can help with playback and also distinguish the difference between a surface and your skin. Now, the whole health feature that everybody was saying that it was going to track your movement and everything like that, it just never really came to fluidity, and there weren't a lot of information and details to back that up. So we're still going to have to wait and see what Apple does in the future with the AirPod Pros 2. But the last thing that we can definitely expect is, of course, with the AirPods 3 with the new driver, we can also expect an upgrade in the sound quality because active noise canceling will follow along in suit. But most users have been saying that the AirPods 3 have a nicer sound system with better bass, although the AirPods Pro have better vocal treble. So it does seem that Apple will update the drivers. But I have been a very, very valid or active user telling everybody that I've been saying for a long time that Apple needs to start using two-way drivers. Adaptive EQ, one-way drivers, it's just not a good enough marketing scheme. Look at Samsung, Soundcore, and other audio companies that are using woofers and tweeters and using them in an acoustic tuning, mostly the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pros. So it can be done, and Apple has the resources to do so. It's just a matter of if they want to do it. But right now, the AirPod Pro 2 are slated for 2022. We don't know exactly when it'll be released. Some people are speculating it will be released in September, October. We'll have to wait and see. So let me hear your thoughts down below. Do you think that the new AirPod Pros 2 are going to be a redesign with some great features, or do you think it's just going to be a mediocre kind of earbud? Let me hear your thoughts down below. Alrighty, story number two, keeping up with the momentum, let's talk about Beats. Now, a few months ago, I had a lot of good hope for Beats going into the future, as they seem to have segued away from Apple's hardware and had seemed to really make some pride on their own strut with the Studio Buds. And for a while, I thought that they were in a good position to continue that momentum. But I'm here to tell you guys that that is not the case, as Beats have gone right back to Apple hardware and have released a brand new earbud called the Beats Fit Pro. And ultimately what they are, it is basically the Beats earbuds for Apple devices, as it has the H1 chip in it and spatial audio head tracking. But also, if you want to believe this or not, it literally has an ear hook built into the design. Now that is because they're focusing on health with this earbud, but in essential, it's really just the Studio Buds with an ear hook and a slightly bigger battery case. Now, I'm not really going to talk about the buds because there was something else that happened on their website if people didn't catch it. With the release of these earbuds, they have now also discontinued several different earbuds. They nixed the Beats EPs, which were the entry-level on-ear headphones. So they literally have no more wired options anymore. There are no more wired headphones. They're all wireless, but some of them have the option to use an aux port. They discontinued the Power Beats, the wired Power Beats, the cheaper Power Beats. And the one that really shocked me the most is they discontinued the Solo Pros. Now, I love the Solo Pros, and I thought that they were a very good upgrade compared to the Solo 3s. But when I saw Beats did that, and yet they're keeping the Solo 3, the Studio 3s, and all the wireless earbuds, they're fine. You know, I gotta ask the question, Beats, what are you doing? You discontinue a more premium version of your Solos in favor of the cheapest model you can make? I mean, it's obvious that Beats really don't care, but this is just doesn't make any sense. The Beats Solo Pros were a better built headphone, had better sound quality, may not have had an aux port, but at least it gave you an option to use a wired connection with the lightning port. And honestly, it was just a better headphone all around. The Solo 3s, while they're a nice throwback and cheaper, you could have made the Solo Pros even cheaper by just lowering the price by $50 or discounting it on Black Friday sales and just continuing the momentum. I don't understand why you favor the Solo 3s and yet you're still keeping the Studio 3s that have yet to even get an update. I have no idea what Beats is doing anymore, and it's a shame because if they're going to go back to Apple hardware and if they're going to continue to go A and B and C in all these directions, listen, it don't really matter at the end of the day because they're going to have the NBA, they're going to have all these marketing athletes promote their headphones, so it's really not going to matter. But in a competition where wireless earbuds are picking big momentum, I don't know. But hey, maybe I'm just looking too hard into it. And last story, the final story, let's talk about the Pixel 6 Pro reviews. Now this one I saved for the end because I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this topic. As you guys know, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro reviews are all over the internet. You can find any video. And a lot of the reviews have been very positive, with them saying that Google's hardware have lived up to expectations, and a lot of the videos saying that, it's okay. But recently there's been a lot of pushback on Twitter, and it just kind of came out of nowhere, where a lot of users were basically going at MKBHD and several other big tech YouTubers for their review of the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Mostly because they felt like they weren't really making a review, but it just felt like they were obligated to do so, and it just came off as not really a genuine review. A lot of the pushback are from Android fanboys, of course, and even some Apple users on Twitter. Now, I'm not going to post any people's names because I want to protect their privacy, but if you look at the YouTube video, it did pretty well. The like and dislike ratio are nowhere near the feedback on Twitter, and Twitter is a whole different ballgame. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about that really everybody's talking about is this whole notion that big tech YouTubers just make commercials, they don't make actual reviews, and a lot of them have stopped watching big YouTubers as a result. Well, listen, for a long time I have been one that have fell under that umbrella. Not saying I qualify as a big YouTuber, but I've always criticized big YouTubers as they've lost their fire, their drive, their hunger that got them to where they are. I've always felt that the more bigger that you have gotten and the more people that watch you, that fire, that passion, it dies. And I used to be one of these people saying that they make commercials, they don't feel like reviews, and they just feel like they're doing it because the company sent them models. Well, Here's the thing. I don't think all big tech YouTubers are intentionally making commercials. They obviously do what they do because they love what they do. And if they didn't love it, they wouldn't make the videos, period. But with that said though, where I think the criticism is coming from is their biased to what products they use on a daily, and also just the way their videos come off in comparison to other videos that they've made. If you watch MKBHD's new video on the Pixel 6 Pro, I watched it. I thought it was okay, but I did notice there were times in the video where it struck, to me, this is just my opinion, I'm not saying he's doing this literally, but I watched the video and I saw there were like few moments where he's like trying to find a way to recommend this phone, but then he goes back and goes, but other flagships, but you know what, you should still try to get it. If it just didn't feel like he found like a genuine flow to really find a way to validate it. It just felt like he was just trying to figure out a way. Then when you watch other YouTubers like iJustine, who I personally never watch, I don't like her, I don't dislike her as a person, I just don't like her content because it's just Apple sheep 24/7. If you watch some of the videos where she branches off, you could see the bias in there. For Christ's sakes, her and Tim Cook are in pockets together. So the biasy thing is really where all of this hate and this attitude is coming from. And I think I need to address both sides because I don't want to focus my criticism on big YouTubers, because there are unbiased YouTubers that are big and do have a platform like Mr. Mobile, Jonathan Morrison, Snazzy Lab, and even Linus Tech. So there are big YouTubers that can, but the big ones that you guys always talk about, MKBHD, iJustine, Unbox Therapy, Super Saf, any of these big guys, the only reason you're putting their name and calling them whatever is because, again, they review so many products every single day. So obviously they're obligated to do a review and they have to do these videos for these companies. But then when they say something that you don't like, you then immediately jump on Twitter and want to call them a sheep and stuff. So to those people that are overly sensitive, you need to get over yourself and don't let them influence your decision. If you like something that they don't like, that's your opinion. So you should stop trying to go after these big guys just because they're either bigger or just because they didn't say the things you liked. But on the flip side, to the big tech YouTubers, I do understand where some of the criticism is coming from. And I'm not saying you guys make terrible videos, but you really need to watch your old videos and then look at the stuff you're making now. Especially Unbox Therapy. I loved Unbox Therapy. I grew up watching Unbox Therapy all through high school. But as I got through college and I started watching his content change and change and change, the old Lou it was gone. And he's never coming back. You gotta keep moving forward. But the bottom line is this. To those of you criticizing MKBHD and others, I don't think it's really warranted because, again, yeah, they did say some things that may piss you off, but as long as you own the product and you enjoy it, that's all that matters. You don't need to worry about what they're saying. And to the big tech YouTubers that do these reviews that have over 10 million or whatever, maybe you should really look back at your old videos and realize why people liked you from the past versus what you're doing now. If you look at the way you started coming up and then you look at yourselves now, maybe you'll see something maybe you didn't notice. I'm not trying to bash you. I don't think they're deliberately trying to make commercials, but I'm with some of the people. I don't watch big tech YouTubers anymore. I've hardly watched any of them. And if I do watch unboxes and others, I'm watching guys like Floss or maybe up-and-comer YouTubers that are on Twitter and even subscribe to me. So that's just my opinion on this whole situation. Again, I wanted to try to be as fair as possible to both sides, to the criticism and to the big tech YouTubers. I know I'm probably going to piss off some people, so if you agree, you agree. If you disagree, that's completely fine. But let me hear your thoughts down below. Do you honestly see this as a big issue in the tech world? And what are your thoughts honestly? And if a big YouTuber wants to have a discussion with me, wants to come at me on Twitter, listen, I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to cause an argument. I'd like to have civilized discussions. I love to have open forum. So if you think you qualify as a big tech YouTuber and you want to have a discussion, my channel's open. I have an open channel. Anybody's welcome to come on and we can discuss it like human beings. So that's that. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. Now guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, I apologize for the long ending. I just hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my views as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and peace!